Don't forget to take off the stuff.
I have.
Don't forget.
Steph, it's your accent.
What?
I know. I know it's my accent. I do it every time.
But I like it.
It's my accent.
In the chat, H is trying to think of the most Tory clothing item she can.
It's the red trouser.
No,
It's
she's
the
come
Don't
up,
you own
she's come
several
up
pairs of red
a
trousers?
tiger smoking jacket. So
Made of an actual tiger.
made of
Or for wearing when you're smoking a tiger, tail first.
I think it's the red corduroy trouser.
How many pairs do you own?
Red corduroy trousers? None.
I don't have any.
You own red paisley trousers, though, don't you?
But they're so gay, they are amazing.
Okay.
I actually own a smoking
very true,
jacket.
actually.
You own a smoking jacket.
Is that Victoria cosplay?
I bought it. I bought it in a vintage shop for a play, and then I ended up not wearing it in the play, but just wearing it around my house. Like, this is so cool.
Just do what everyone else does and wear a raincoat.
It's very soft. Shut up.
Go on then, Hannah. Start.
Right, apparently I'm in charge. Yay!
Yay!
Welcome to Stories from the Smoke Room, the lock-in edition. Yay! We are really excited. I'm like just really wired because we've got Ki Shah with us tonight. Yay!
Yay!
Little reading nook.
In between is this is
Yay!
Crazy cat.
Also, Amazing Cat is here in the
Amazing
reading
Cat is here.
nook. It's beautiful. It's orange. I'm wearing orange. Steph's wearing orange. This is all beautiful.
Orange vibes, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Where
what?
will it stop?
Roll
Story time!
up and ride on Rosie. I bet you're all glad that I got told to do tonight. Yay!
Hold on. Riding on Rosie.
I'm listening to that.
What?
Riding on Rosie, did you say?
Yeah, as an adult,
Ride on
that takes a
Rosie.
very
Oh,
different turn.
sorry. This is a kids show.
She's it's a magical roundabout.
Oh, is it a kid's
The
show?
magical musical merry-go-round. Yeah. She goes and then Mr. Jolly is in charge of her. And
Playdays
the
was the very
song.
first. Playdays was the very first thing I saw at the theatre.
And it's taken us 35 seconds to get distracted.
Okay, so this is how we roll. When Hannah's in charge, we start talking about kids' TV instead of doing what we do. So,
I think you've
so
missed a call in there, actually, Platts. I think you could have been the next Miles
kids'
Judd.
TV. Yeah,
Yes.
that's who I want
Yes.
to be in my castle.
Yes,
The inventor.
yes.
Inventing things is fun. Anyway.
You're doing it to me. Stop it. You know I can't like resist a tangent. Anyway, so we're here in the smoke room and it's the lock-in and we've got Ki with us. Ki, do you know what story you're going to tell?
I haven't chosen one. I'm going to offer you a choice of
Okay, this is
stories
exciting.
you can have.
Get
So,
ready,
You want
chat.
to do
Get
a
ready, chat.
crazy, and then the chat and us can vote. And
Okay, so we're gonna narrow down 3 topics. So the topics are hospitals, travel,
Okay.
Chinese restaurant.
Oh, okay. So we've
Those
got
are the-
hospitals, travel, Chinese restaurant are the 3 options.
Yep.
People in the chat, offer your suggestions.
Love a bit of audience
This is
participation.
nice. We have to wait for the lag, so we have to just like talk about ourselves for a minute.
We have. I don't want to influence anyone, but of course we have had some hospital stories before.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
true.
in already.
We've had some travel stories before.
John is saying he's oddly drawn to the Chinese restaurant.
We've never
But-
had a Chinese restaurant.
I was going to say, our travel stories have mainly consisted of Hannah pissing on lions and telling her fun historical landmarks.
Also, a large portion of them is her annoying Europeans or laughing at their misfortune.
I am not a nice person. I left a trail of destruction around Europe.
To be fair, I wonder what you were going to say there when you said trail of.
A trail of destruction and
Trail of urine.
vomit
Oh,
and
good. I'm glad it was
urine.
that good.
Chinese, yes.
A
So
broken heart.
Just drawing your DNA around Europe, just kind of smearing it everywhere that you go.
basically, I'm leaving a trail of destruction.
Spreading your disruptive
Chinese
seed.
restaurant. Hannah says she misses Chinese food a lot, and her heart leapt at the word Chinese restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
Scrolling back,
Intolerant people.
Ripley the cat is Maisie's #1 fan.
Oh,
So you know.
this is what Maisie thinks of Ripley.
That's a good
See?
response.
That's good.
Yeah.
She's not yelling.
Sometimes Maisie gets angry when I'm on video calls because she thinks there's people in the house, but she doesn't seem to mind you guys, so that's good.
Yay.
We're
Just like
number
cat
1.
people.
Good judge of character.
I love Maisie so much. Quick story. I've cat sat for Maisie, and every time I would go out, I would come back at night. She would be sat on the dining room table, and as soon as I put the light on, she would yell at me like a mother, like, "Where have you been?" She'd be like, "Meow, meow, meow," and I'm like, "I'm here now." And she's like, "Meow." It was like my favorite thing in the whole
What time
world.
do you call this? I've been at this house alone, waiting for you to come back. Yeah, she's like that. Yeah.
What is all this? After last week's fridge clearing, I think we've got a new candidate for worst person in the smoke room. Thanks, John T. That's aimed at you, Steph. Oh, look, a tangent. Sorry, I like tangents. I'm in charge tonight. We're having tangents. Okay.
Tangents for tea again.
Tangents for tea. Okay. I think so. That's 2 for Chinese from the chat. So I think it might be Chinese. Choice.
Okay. This
Adam, concentrate.
Okay.
Adam, okay.
This is a story from my days in the beautiful, idyllic seaside town of Swansea, which is, a dream destination for most people. I went there to go to uni, and I stayed there for 12 years. It has a slogan as you come out the train station. It says, "Ambition is critical," which, I know it's very proactive. Because Swansea has a nickname of being the graveyard of ambition. And so they've just trolled everyone by then putting that outside of the train station. And anyway, I loved it. It's a great place. And people are much less...
And we're critical of ambition.
Ambition
Must
is
have
critical,
ambition to be
isn't it?
here, or you will drown.
And yeah, I love it. Like the Midlands is very reserved compared to Swansea. I've had to learn that. I think the East Midlands slightly more reserved than the West Midlands. So I'll leave that out there for you guys. I'm from the South properly, so
it is.
Yeah, there we go. Anyway, before I start, I kind of internecine kind of inter-Anglo war or war with the Welsh. Carry on with the story.
Just every week on this podcast.
So whilst I was there, I took up a martial art, which I loved. I got a lot of bruises. I used to work in bars, and I used to work in really rough pubs. And when I'd be serving pints, like the guys right on the other side of the bar would see all the bruises on my arms and be like, "You're right, love. Do you need me to just have a word with someone?" And I'd be like, No, don't.
One second. So you moved to Swansea and thought, I'll immediately take up a martial art.
There's a lot about Swansea.
I need to do something and get all this out.
Ambition is critical when you're learning jiu-jitsu.
What martial art? Was it just like a karate, or was you get like, I'm doing Krav Maga?
It was jiu-jitsu. Shout out to any jitsuka out there, or jitsuckers as I like to call them. I had a really great time, made loads of really good friends, and it was the one time in my life I'd actually
punched them repeatedly in the face.
Yes. One of my closest mates actually from those days still has a slightly damaged hand from the time when I just was having a really not with it day, and I didn't move when he went to punch me, so bashed me right in the forehead. Actually, he was using a wooden knife. It was supposed to be a knife defense, and luckily he turned the knife up last minute when he realized I was spaced out and not paying attention. But he says that his knuckle still doesn't sit right because of where it connected with my head.
So you were because of slight daisiness, you were nearly stabbed in the skull.
Yeah, we didn't use. I never got to the grade where we actually used live blades.
Okay.
So
can I
bludgeoning.
How is this not the story?
Bludgeoning.
There is now every possibility that a jiu-jitsu teacher in Swansea is going, I've seen this brilliant knife defence. You just look a bit spaced out and they knuckle you in the forehead and you're fine.
I went to the cinema after that training session and had to have a drink against my head.
Either that or someone's threatening legal, like someone worried about legal action.
Did you have a lump or like a bruise?
Yeah, I looked like a Klingon for a bit.
Oh God!
His knuckle prints on my forehead.
Just imagining you there pulling pipes with knuckle prints literally on your forehead, like.
Yeah, the guy on the other side of the bar is like, "Oh, do I have to have a word with that Captain Kirk?"
Now I'm wondering what happened to me when I was young, because I've got like a natural Klingon forehead.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe someone jiu-jitsu'd you.
That's not a recognised technique. You're supposed to move out of the way and block and all that kind of thing. So it was a big part. It's a big part of my life for a long time, and it was a university club, and we used to go out and party a lot. There was this phase that I went through where I'd been training really regularly, and then I just had a really, like, it feels weird to say it now, as you know, as I head towards 40 and we're in a pandemic. I look back in my early 20s when I was at university and I go, I was having a really tough week. I had no idea. No idea at that point. Oh, this week's been really hard. We were supposed to train from like 7 till 9 on Wednesdays and Fridays. And we had this one session coming up and it was somebody's birthday, I think. And we were going to go to the Chinese restaurant, our favorite Chinese restaurant, afterwards. But because I'd had a rough week, I didn't go to training. I left all my kit in my bag and I went straight to the student bar. And I just, from when lectures finished, and I thought, well, everyone will come here afterwards on the way to the restaurant. So they'll come and I'll just meet them here. I won't go and train. So I just was in the pub and I used to work in the bars. So I knew everybody in there. So by the time everyone came in from after training, about 8:30, I was already very merry, very merry.
Does this end up with you? Does this end up with you in a trolley on the seafront?
In a trolley?
I really hope so.
No, I didn't end up in it. I don't think I've ever ended up in a trolley.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Your next birthday.
I haven't. I did come on a digger once. So
I've sat on a row of trolleys. That's a different story. Carry on. Like, you know how they tessellate and you just, like, lie on the top of them. Anyway.
Comfy. So the rest of like my club came in and we all sat around to have a drink. And I think I realised how drunk I was when my friend Simon likes to remind me that when everyone came in and I kind of saved our seats in the corner and everyone came and sat down, that he didn't have a seat, so I was just like, have my seat. And then I just sat on his lap and made him up a song about how glad I was to see him. I wish I could remember it, but
Awesome.
And then
that's beautiful.
Yeah, then everyone wanted to go home and get changed before going to the restaurant. So I went with a friend of mine whose house was on the way because I wasn't going to go home. I think if I'd gone home, I would have gone to sleep. So I went to my friend's house and, kind of,
add some more.
I don't know if I made up any songs for them. And then we get to this Chinese restaurant. It was quite a big restaurant. And we had I think 3 big round tables booked to fit all of the club in. So we're all sitting.
Sorry, I've just got this feeling that all the jiu-jitsu team all went off and they all phoned people going, come to the Chinese restaurant because Ki's off her box.
She's had a drink and she's become a Welsh bard somehow. She's singing songs about everything she sees.
She made a balalaika. I don't know what else, but she's just got one out.
She's
I think it was a watermelon.
Yeah, I did. I did like to party when I was in Swansea. It's quite, it's my fond memories of my youth. And there's a lot of my memories that I don't have, which other people will then remind me of. But this is one of the ones that I remember. For example, there's one that a friend of mine told me that I didn't remember, which is we were at this big it was a sports society kind of do. And apparently I challenged her, I dared her to do a gorilla snot shot. You know, where you have Bailey's in like a lime cordial or something. No, Bailey's in some other spirit. Anyway, I said,
Steph's face.
Sorry.
We used to do a cement mixer, which was Bailey's, vodka, and whiskey, and then it cut.
Yeah.
You take a shot.
Why Bailey's?
It's because it curdles. You take a shot of Bailey's and take a shot of vodka, and then it curdles in your mouth, and you have to go. And then to make it into cement.
It's like drinking cottage cheese.
I love how you're selling that like that's the plus point. Like, no, you don't understand. It becomes a disgusting milky net, and it's like in it. Like, there's
also including Bailey's again. If you sink a shot of Bailey's in a pint of Guinness, and then you have to neck the whole thing again before it turns into cottage cheese.
That was a rugby thing we did once.
Why
and
would
we only
you
did it
ruin
once
beautiful Guinness?
Because we all went. Oh, this will be a fun. Oh, the Guinness this is foul. And then we slowly watched it turn to bread and went,
just bread.
I shouldn't need to drink Guinness with a fork.
It's dessert now.
It's become a mousse.
I think the carers had arrived by the time the cement mixer had to be gone by 10.
I don't want Bailey's.
Anyway. All the things that could have sent you home with a cement mixer.
First year of uni, someone had decided that a bedtime call would be at 10 p.m, but nothing starts till 9:30. So I'd be lucky if I had 20 minutes out. Anyway,
you have to really go hard for those 20 minutes.
It's really solidly. Yeah.
My rocket.
Yeah, Mike's there with like vodka in his eyeballs being injected.
I've only got 15 minutes.
Like a hardcore Cinderella.
Yeah.
It's like, come on,
get it in there!
One of the girls in my year ended up in the newspaper because she had a shot of, which is the one that you set on fire? Sambuca, isn't it?
Sambuca.
Yeah, because she had a shot of Sambuca, the bartender set it on fire, and as she leant forward, her waist-length hair went, and she just went up in flames. And she was like, it was the bar's fault. No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. You've got
It was you and your 15 quid's worth of product in your hair. I think it was an accelerant.
With like alcohol on your breath as well.
Yeah.
It's just like
I can't remember which
she had the very typical Express and Star pose of like stood next to like a shot of Sambuca going,
pointing at it angrily. Yeah.
Angry people in the newspapers.
They're always angry, pointing at potholes. Like.
Everywhere I go with my mum, and she's like, "God, come on, let's take a picture." I stand and angrily point at wherever we are.
I did it for you when I went to Bournemouth.
yeah, you did, yeah.
I can't remember which of Kira's birthdays it was, but we were in like the local back in Ironbridge, and the bar people knew us well, and so brought her over like a special like flaming sambuca, and then I don't know, like she wasn't that drunk, but she sort of just battered it over like a cat, and then across the table just went.
Yeah.
But there was literally no effort in even trying to pick it up. I was just like, meh.
The only weird shot that we ever really had at uni was called a pingu. Have you had that? Or it's like
pingu.
It's like
you go,
basically it's black sambuca, white sambuca, black sambuca, and
red all over.
it makes you sick. Anyway, carry on.
That sounds horrible.
It smells like vomit. Anyway,
yeah, there was a pirate bar in Leicester, which is amazing. They did a shot called a Dark Angel, which was black absinthe, green absinthe, and then black sambuca, and it was almost a short. But I remember drinking it and then have no memory afterwards. But my friend went, "You had like 7 of them and decided that you were a pirate." I was like, "That sounds like me."
There's a pirate bar in Leicester and you've never mentioned it.
Oh, it's gone.
It's gone now,
That's 5 years. It's gone.
What's the point in going on?
What's the end of the pirate bar in like the furthest distance from any ocean?
Yeah.
Because we crave the sea.
We had that. We had the dry dock, and dry dock was at a boat. They turned into a bar in the middle of Leicester, near no sea.
I don't know any
There's a
good places
pub
in
in
Leicester.
there's a pub in Netherton called the Little Dry Dock, and the bar is a boat.
The whole pub was a boat.
Can we go there when we go on our tour of West Midlands watering holes?
Yeah, Crooked House, and that
Crooked
one
House,
that you
yeah.
just said.
And that one where I'm going to get beaten up for doing the accent. We have to go there.
That'll be most of them, to be fair, Hannah.
I was gonna say, I'm trying to think of a specific one, but there's a lot.
Down the cut.
You've got to order some scratchings as well.
Get some scratchings down the cut.
You said
My
scratchings.
accent.
Scratchings.
Where's the
Yeah, it's like
scratchings?
scratchings.
Yeah.
Or
You did go
some
very-
smoke and fry.
You did go very significant then.
It's a thin line. It's a thin line between the two.
Hannah, get a grip on this.
Right, sorry. This is why I'm never in charge. Key. So we're in the.
So, yes. So
Yeah.
I was tangenting slightly towards saying that I don't always remember these things because, was young and wild and free. And one of the ones I don't remember was to do with the gorilla snot shot.
Oh yeah,
and-
that's where we were.
Yeah,
Look.
those are better to do the quickest. As soon as someone gets you one, if you're going to drink it straight away because otherwise it has time to curdle.
Oh,
And
God.
my friend Len, who's an absolute legend and now an amateur Muay Thai fighter,
Legend.
Muay Thai fighter, not very much a Thai fighter. It's not a style.
It's like, yeah.
It's a Thai martial art thing.
He's a mood TIE fighter. He's a cow in a spaceship.
So she told me the story that I had. She was quite new to the club, so I guess I was kind of hazing her. So I got her this gorilla snot shot, and I said, "Right, your challenge is to down." Oh no, I got her two. I said, "Your challenge is to down these two shots, and if you manage it, then there's a reward." And so she downed them both, and she went, "What's my reward?" And then I produced the third shot, which had just been like congealing, and she was like.
Oh God.
I was like, "Your reward is you get to do another one." And she told me that I'd done this like a while afterwards, and I didn't remember it, but I had to say that is the kind of thing that I would do. And that's-
Like,
that's
sounds
what my
like
memory's
me.
Kay,
Oh my God.
you and I need to go out drinking.
good. Okay, I can't match my younger days. Like I'm now. This is like
Nor me. It's okay. We'll have half a lager and be like,
yeah. That's it's. Yeah, I used to think it was like such a badge of honor to be able to drink a lot. And nowadays, I'm like, it's all about kind of.
It's weird, isn't it? That kind of.
It's a cheaper date now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
damn right.
Yeah, the hangovers last a lot longer.
Yeah. Nowadays, I need like 2 days and minor surgery.
Yeah.
It's that thing, isn't
yeah.
it? When the hangovers last longer than the party, it's time to quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why'd you mention minor surgery, Steph?
Oh, sorry, Mark.
So it's a sore point, literally.
Hey.
I have a theory around hangovers influenced by doing physics at uni. I have a theory that for every drinking session there is a hangover. It's just not necessarily you that will get it. So all those 18-year-olds who or 18, 19, 20-year-olds who go out and party and they don't get a hangover,
Yeah.
their hangover is still there and has to be experienced by someone. And that's why people over the age of like 30 get 2-day hangovers, because you're having some 18-year-olds hangover the second day. That's my theory.
Well, they're your own ones that you didn't have when you were 18, because I never used to have a hangover, and they just store up, and now it's like, oh, why is it lasting 2 days?
In which case, I am due a lot.
Yeah.
You know that
it takes
gif?
longer to die.
Just wait till you
Yeah.
get to 30. Oh my God.
I'll be dead
You
by
know
then.
that gif of Winona Ryder looking confused with all the equations going
Yeah.
on? That's me. Now. So I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
Mike,
Mysteries of the universe.
have you
Because I
never
was-
been drunk, Mike? You've never been drunk.
No.
Have you never drank?
Someone spike his saline solution.
Somebody, when I finished uni, somebody brought me a Koppenberg and basically just harangued me to drink it when all my friends were around. So,
Oh.
so I sort of had to pretend it was really nice. But actually, I was just like, why? It just tastes the same as like every other thing I've tried. I'm not intentionally dull.
Just a happy accident.
Isn't it mad though how drinkers like will harangue non-drinkers?
Yeah,
Like,
I think that's weird. Yeah.
That's like what like it's I feel like it's them trying to justify themselves.
I
a little
mean,
bit.
Yeah.
Like it was a friendly harangue, but like you know.
Go on. It was one of those.
You will.
But you know what? You get drinkers that harangue other drinkers because there's always the one in the group that goes, "Should we get Jaeger bombs?" And you're like, "No, thank you, because I don't want to die on a night out." And then they're like, "No, let's get Jaeger bombs." No, thank you. So they go up to the bar and they buy Jaeger bombs, and then you're a pussy if you don't drink it. And I don't.
Get
pussy
There's
out
this
on
weird
the bar.
kind. Yeah.
Get better friends.
I know.
I was in
It's a lot of effort though at this age.
quite a lot of effort. I was in the pub in Leicester after one of our improv gigs last year, and someone bought everyone in there a Jaeger bomb because they'd just got made a doctor at the uni, and they were like, for everyone, and they came around and literally everyone in the pub, but like loads of people were like, I don't like them, or like, I'm not drinking. So I was just sat there like, okay, like lining up other people. It was the best.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, person I don't know. Yay, well done.
We're all winners.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, the story. Jesus Christ.
So anyway, I'm in charge. Key. So
I was just thinking about. I didn't go out drinking when I got my doctorate, but I did throw up at the top of the stairs.
Oh, what?
It's another story.
Just from the shock of it.
It was after I handed in my thesis. Handed in my thesis, and I'd been so stressed that I just went blah everywhere. And then when I had my viva, I rang my mum. I was like, "Mum, I finished my viva. Can you ring me back?" And she rang me back, and I said, "Hello, Dr. Shah speaking." And she went, "Really?" And I was like, "Thanks."
So beautiful.
Really?
I know.
Oh my god, I love that so much.
Yeah.
What? Because this always interests me. This does. What was the title of your doctorate?
Yeah.
It was surface characterization of the electrochemically active bacterium Shigella 1-idensis MR1.
It's fucking meaningless, isn't it?
How good is it?
Everyone's just looked at it and gone,
to listen to it. What?
no idea what that is. No idea what it is.
But somewhere that's saving somebody's life or
Yeah,
doing
that's
some
well,
really
Not sure about that. It's just a little bit of like knowledge that's out there, but it's funny when you asked me that. I was like, oh no, am I going to not remember it? But I did. It's still in there. It's just under a lot. Like my brain librarian was probably like,
He's like,
here it is.
There's a purely decimal system out. It's in here somewhere. Do you know if your doctorate, your thesis, has been referenced by anyone else?
No, I don't think my thesis has, but there's a paper that it was. I didn't have any first author papers because I wasn't a very good paper writer. But the one paper that the main paper that I worked on with my group gets referenced quite a lot. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
You've actually made a difference.
Cool.
Well, I feel bad.
Well, academia is a very strange environment.
I've got a city and guilds in media studies.
Yeah, you do.
Hannah's got an A-level in photography.
I've got an A-level in photography.
I've got GCSE in dance.
Yeah!
Yay!
I take pride in my educational poverty. I'll just leave that there.
Just leave that on the table.
Can't say it. I can't say anything without being patronising because I went all the academic route, and so I'm just gonna.
A classic from the chat. We've got Lloydie James Lloyd here, who has a city and guilds in media.
Samesies!
Yay!
Oh,
Yeah.
And it's what got me where I am now. Technically, on the same chat with a doctor, so you know.
Not a medical doctor.
It's like osmosis. It's like osmosis. It just seeps through.
Yeah.
Right, so we walk into the Chinese restaurant.
Chinese restaurant. We've been getting to the Chinese restaurant this whole time. We're finally there. It's like the White Walkers have got to Winterfell.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And
What a reference.
so the
No
people from the
idea.
club who like liked me were on my table and found me entertaining and felt fun. But there were definitely people at the club who were like, just too much. So they were on other tables, and they were there for like, they were really glammed up. It was like a big kind of night out. You know, all the girls looking really, really pretty and glam, and fellas had even like got, you know, it was just a kind of shirts, no ties or anything like that. It wasn't that kind of level, you know, that kind of thing. And there was maybe a couple of other tables of people from different groups in there. And I'm just kind of merrily chatting away to myself. And it's a really classy night because there's a pianist there who just kind of starts playing some music, just like some little kind of
It's classy.
atmospheric music. Yeah. And playing some kind of like elevator music classics, kind of Girl from Ipanema type stuff.
Nice.
And that's all fine. And I wasn't really paying attention. I was drinking some more wine. I was finding myself amusing. I don't know whether everybody else was. And then I hear the
relate heavily with that. Carry on.
The strains of a familiar song. And
Clip that, John. Clip that. My work here is done.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And
I'm not supposed to be ashamed.
I was really, really enjoying. That was a song I was big into. I was quite enjoying like kind of 60s tunes. You know, I did a lot of karaoke at university and kind of helped run some karaoke nights at one of the bars.
What's your karaoke song?
If they have it, I like to do Björk's "It's So Quiet."
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
brave.
Yeah.
Because people are like, "What the hell is it?" And
Have you got any Pavarotti? Bring it on.
Get your Nessun Dorma out, yeah.
Get your Nessun Dorma out. Get your Nessun Dorma out.
What's everyone else's karaoke song quickly? Like, we're having a tangent.
I'm a
Minority
believer.
by Green Day.
Nice.
I'm a believer. The Monkeys.
Nice.
When I was at uni, every week, karaoke every week, someone used to get up and do I've got to wear shades. I can't remember who it's by, but like it was so untuneful.
Tuneful.
That's not a word.
No, but it's beautiful.
Like if that didn't happen, like people were like, it was odd.
Like there's something wrong in the air. Everyone's like, where is it? Where is the? Yeah.
It was like really nerdy, you know, and like it was just mad.
Let me just think. Yeah, I think I could say this. We had Mr. Rob Kemp on. I went out with Rob Kemp when he was presenting. So he was very, very dolled up and very, very nice. No, he was dressed as a woman. And he was incredibly attractive.
He's really attractive as a woman. It makes me sick.
And it was a karaoke night. And he did Baggy Trousers by Madness.
Fucking love it, man.
You know what? It was one of the most brilliant things I've ever seen. Rob Kemp dressed as a very, very sexy woman doing Baggy Trousers by Madness.
Baggy trousers.
And I'm like...
Please tell me he was doing the full arms and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like...
It's Rob Kemp, of course he was.
Oh my god. I would pay good money to see that.
It's his next
I'll
show.
go halves with you, Hannah, on that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was
Go
really
on then.
creepy.
While we're on tangents, what's everyone else's karaoke song? Steph?
See, I don't have one, but one night
No,
when
I don't have
Oceana
one
was still
either.
around, me and a boy on my drama course got up and did High School Musical. And
The whole of it, the whole thing.
no,
Yeah.
The whole thing.
start of something new, and everyone was so drunk in there. We had a standing ovation.
Oh my
I'm
god.
not smashed it, but we freaking smashed it.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Is this
They're
like...
amazing.
Did you really smash it? Or is
Oh,
this
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I
is
bet
this
you
like,
did.
No, is this like comedy smash it? You know, when
No, no, no.
comedians go, I smashed it.
Grade out in musical theatre from I do not talk about when it comes to High School Musical. We harmonised and everything.
Oh my god.
Do
Oh,
you
yeah.
still have this person's number? Because can't you get them on this podcast?
Ed,
We have a karaoke
Yeah.
that night.
We could do
yeah,
a karaoke
he
night.
still calls
No
me.
group karaoke
Still
room.
calls me Sharpay. Whenever we talk on Instagram, he's like, "Hi, Sharpay," and I'm like, "Hi."
I think this was a dream you had.
Well, wait, do you have
I
a
missed
cool,
him. I'm
And
trying
the
to
crowd
go.
were cheering.
a musical theatre nickname? That's like, is that like the musical theatre equivalent of like Ace?
Yeah.
Maverick.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
not.
It's like Goose and Maverick, but
Red leader.
Simon Sharpay.
Yeah.
Goose
I was-
and
That's
Maverick.
beautiful.
I was in a production of High School Musical as a sorted man, but it was the of all the stuff I've been in, it was just the worst because you'd go, people go, "I'm doing a show. What is it?" It's a musical, and it's just in your fucking head for life. It's like worse than herpes. It's just
I've never
in there.
seen it.
Good.
Mm.
I was a drummer in
Oh, dear.
Oedipus. Now I don't know if you know
You,
Oedipus.
you in Oedipus?
I don't know if you know the play Oedipus, but there's not many drummers referenced.
Well,
More of an addition, more of an
Yeah.
artistic choice. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What can we do with the fat bald one? Drummer.
Give him a drum.
it's drummer or bassist. Yeah.
Whenever I say I've got a gig, people go, "Oh, what do you do?" And I'm like, "Well, what do you think I do?" And they always say, either play the drums or play bass.
Yep.
And then I look at them and
Yeah,
go,
that's good.
performance poetry with that kind of snarl in my voice. I was like,
Boom.
go on, fucking
Boom.
say something.
Yeah, and then I'll write a poem about
Yeah.
it.
Just like, yeah, I know enjambment and what.
Yeah, that was a Pyrrhic ending.
Put a rhyming couplet on your ass. Sorry, Kay.
Anyway, so my karaoke song, by the way, is "What's Up" by Four Non Blondes.
Oh, it's a classic.
Yeah, if I'm drunk, put an Eclipse of the Heart. If I'm very drunk, put an Eclipse of the
Ooh,
Heart.
yeah. I like a bit of my other go-to was Alana Miles's
Black Velvet.
Oh, what's it called? Yeah, Black Velvet. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a good one, yeah.
Never
And
did
I
that.
once, there was a guy when I was at college, and we used to, every time we went to karaoke, we would end up doing the whole of the time warp with the different voices. I was obviously Magenta and Columbia because I can do quite a good impression of them, and but like it's too much in a pub environment. But I
Yeah.
did it anyway.
I had a mate
and
who,
yeah, that
I
was
had a
a
mate
thing for
who
a while.
knew he was very good at singing, and on like karaoke nights, he'd always sing the same thing, which is always the Sweet Transvestite song.
Yeah,
But-
yeah, I had a
but-
friend who
but-
did that as well.
But he sang it so smugly.
Mm,
You're like, yes, we
like
know you
too
can
well.
sing. But-
Yeah, you can't be too good at karaoke.
Yeah, and it was like
Yeah.
he'd clearly
There's a
practiced this
big
song.
difference between karaoke in Wales, where pretty much everyone can sing.
Yeah, that's true.
Karaoke in England.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Everyone
No
just crying
disrespect
over
for
the green
English,
grass of
but,
home.
I once saw Tom Jones in Cardiff Arena, and when he played that song, like it was just like everyone weeping, it was like this mass emotional kind of thing. Green, green grass. Oh, yeah.
Active collective hero. So we're in the train. The pianist is playing. Down. Beautiful.
I push my chair back from the table. I stand up from the chair. I walk around into the center of the restaurant
Okay.
next to the pianist. There's little look to the pianist of
I've got
like,
this.
don't worry, I've got you. Don't worry. When you're alone, and something and something, you can always go down, down. When you're alone, and the noise and the hurry leads to something I know. Down,
Did you have to read through the
down.
words, or were you saying something?
I know about 60% of the words.
That's like I watched where I used to work for like 3 works ago. 2 of the people were like, oh yeah, it's a Christmas like hip hop karaoke. We're gonna do Salt and Pepper, and they got up and realised that they only knew one sentence.
That's happened to me before when my friends made me do Let's Get Ready to Rumble by PJ and Duncan. We thought it would be hilarious, but it turns out there are verses to that song.
Yeah.
And the words
actually
on
wrote
the
lyrics for it,
screen
yeah.
don't make sense with what you're hearing. It's like, I'm a marshmallow, who are you? Like, what the hell is that about? Well, so yeah, I've been in that position myself. In the end, we were like, what is this? This is shit, this song. Why did we just say we were going to do this? It was a terrible night. Anyway, carry on.
So when I first went up, I went over to the pianist and I kind of was like expecting that he might have a book with music and that there might be words in there.
Underneath.
But that was not the case. And
he was just doing it out of his mind.
Yeah, and so it's fine because I knew that I knew bits of it, and so I sang the kind of like just listen to the rhythm of the music in the city. You'll be dancing with them too before the neon lights are pretty, or something like that. And then I got back towards the chorus, and I went over to my group.
Yeah,
to try and get them to sing Downtown with me.
We'd have done it, Kay. We'd have done it.
Yeah, we were right there.
Yes, you were. But unfortunately, I went to the group of people who thought I was too much, and they were just like, there was nothing happening.
They were like picking up a single dumpling and eating it like.
I don't think were they aggressively looking anywhere else, just like.
Just trying to eat some rice,
It was very much like But luckily, next to them was a table of it was like a family group who were all a little bit like older adults, so older than we were at the time. And so like each time with the chorus, you have a second go round because it's like downtown, and then you sing a little bit again, and then you get down. So I just like turned from my group and turned to this group of people that I didn't know.
Complete
and then they all went, and it was very much like this because they'd watched this whole thing unfold. I mean, walk around the table of my like close friends pissing themselves. This group of people like hating me, and so when they came round, they were ready, and I was like, da, 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 and they all went like this. Downtown.
That's so much
in a very gentle and kind of kind way.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of mumbled my way off. Yeah. And so that's
as you approach this table of people, was there some rapid like tapping of going, she's a fucking nutter, just sing it. I've seen her stop a knife with her forehead. Just sing it.
I think there was a general kind of vibe of like, well, she's trying. You know, it's like she's having a go.
She's here.
Bless
her.
She's put herself out there.
If we ever get big enough to tour this in arenas for the finale, when we're in Swansea, you're coming back. And doing downtown.
We'll just hear the tinkling of a piano, like. Do it
with a full orchestra, like the pipe.
Yeah.
The
curtain lifts up. Oh my
then
God.
Gator and then Dave can pretend to play the bass.
Pretend he can pretend to play it.
There's a huge like professional male like Welsh choir there.
Yeah,
150
the
there.
female voice choir are there, and the
Downtown.
No, I reckon everyone has to be. It's just you on the downtime. No music, no nothing. Just like.
Downtown.
Two people downstage, right, doing some jiu-jitsu.
Stabbing each other in the face.
Yeah, it ends. We all get hit in the face with a wooden sword.
Yeah.
And we fall down, and then the curtain comes down, and that's the end.
Yeah.
I'd
Perfect.
pay 15 quid to see that.
I would.
I'm so proud that my little quip started this.
Started the greatest show finale in the world.
I feel so wanted. It's
It'll be weird when we can do shows in real life and we won't have Jonty to make little clips of it. It'll be like it's just gone into the ether.
Has anyone else got the song still playing in their head?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I've been humming it the entire time.
Yeah, probably forever now.
Fine. If you need to replace it, what I've had stuck in my head for fucking months is the grandstand theme tune, and I don't know why.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It's a good theme.
Ba, 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 bam, bam.
Oh yeah.
I had insomnia the other night, and at 2:30 in the morning, for some reason, my brain put into my head, there's a guy who works down the chip shop, swears he's Elvis by Kirsty MacColl.
Yeah.
Like for 4 hours.
Was it like just a little bit of it looping as well? Yeah. That's the worst. Yeah.
Because you're a dad. Did you then get in your head going? What all dads immediately do is go, "Did you know she died in a speed
accident?
Did you?"
Yeah. Dads at Christmas.
Dads at Christmas. Yeah.
That's not going to be played though this Christmas, is it?
It is just the radio edit they did in the 90s. It's literally just it's a non-story. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it because we can't play Fairy Tale of New York, but we can all listen about Cardi B's Soggy Fanny.
Yeah, that's different, isn't it?
One. I mean, it is better worded than that in the song. I'll be honest.
It is very different.
Fanny is a horrible phrase.
Hang on. Sorry.
Very different.
As a granddad, I have no idea who Cardi B is. I've heard the name.
It's like a cardigan, but it's a bit higher up
yeah.
the alphabet.
You're aware of the song, Dave, because you've heard me do it in a Birmingham accent.
Why is she singing?
I haven't heard that. That sounds weird.
Hold on.
Yeah, I need a bucket and a mop for this.
Why is she singing about her Soggy Fanny?
Because she does a song called Wet Ass Punani.
No, she
Pussy, the word.
She doesn't. She
Punani
does not.
better than pussy? I'm not
It's
sure.
so much worse.
I don't know why.
So like your old auntie trying to describe.
Yeah.
It's like your nan trying to say lesbian.
Well, she's
Just a mime it.
One of those.
That's exactly
Not interested in the chipolata, is that?
What is the bread on the other side?
Mate, she puts her bins out on the wrong day.
He's on the other bus. On the other bus.
On the other bus.
That's what my nan used to say. You know, he's on the other bus.
On the other bus.
Going into town? No,
not the number 15, nan. No.
The 42. No, not the 42. No.
Number 6. No.
Oh dear me.
Yeah, you're not allowed to play Fairy Tale of New York anymore because it's offensive, but we can all listen to Cardi B talking about
you can do the version with haggard.
The difference is that, like, pussy isn't an offensive term that's used in a derogatory way to describe a group of people.
Yeah.
It's
Also, one is
like,
a song about a woman being like proud of her sexuality. The other one is
it's just an insult.
It's a slur being used in a derogatory way.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be angry about WAP, you've got to be angry about every single rapper who's talked about.
I'm not angry about what.
Yeah.
But like the people comparing the both are like, then
Yeah,
why
it
are you
doesn't
angry? The
it
song
doesn't matter
My
anyway, like-
Ding-a-ling is just right there.
Kirsty MacColl didn't even sing the faggot version. Or,
No.
So
It's a
you know.
The
radio
fact is
edit.
they're trying to cancel it. Full stop.
They're not. It's a they want
It's
to
a
play the
radio
radio
edit.
edit, and then Radio 2 is playing the original version.
Mm.
I think it's that kind of thing though
It's a
where
non-story.
the rumor mill goes though, doesn't it? Because one person says, "Oh, maybe we shouldn't do it," and everyone says, "Oh, they're not going to do it at all," and then someone else picks that up, and then before you know it, Lawrence Fox has stuck his oar in because that's his job now, is professional like racist oar man. And
we need a new Katie
Oh
Hopkins.
wait. In the chat,
Oh no,
Jonty
we do
says
not
that.
need another Katie Hopkins.
What? No. Jonty says that Dame Alison Dunn and Dame Leslie Emery coined the term "dancing down the other end of the ballroom,"
Oh, that's
which I think is delightful.
I think my favourite one is for homosexual is he likes the taste of peen. That's my favourite euphemism. I think.
Don't make Hannah Lashes going to spit out a council pop.
That's another euphemism as well.
Clip that, please, Jim.
He swallows the council pop.
Me council pop nearly went all over me laptop.
I was thinking about this the other day about how, because of a certain age, I remember like people, like young people today, are like, oh, this song's been around my whole life and it's had this effect on me. And so I think, you know, when you hear these, like if you do a music quiz or whatever, and you hear songs from your youth, and it kind of takes back. And I remember like recently someone played Blur, Girls and Boys, and I remember in the 90s it being really like girls who like boys who dig girls like the boys, like that was like this really big thing. And now everyone is bisexual.
Yay!
And I mean, that's the default as far as I'm concerned. Unless you tell me otherwise, that's what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
It's just
Why would you narrow your options? Anyway, but back in the mid 90s, it was such a big thing to say. And like I remember as a teenager in the 90s, kind of looking back on when people were like, oh, it was a really big deal when David Bowie started dressing that way. And I was like, well, you guys are so backwards. And now I think back to how we were in the 90s, and we were not as progressive as we are now.
Absolutely.
It's just interesting to see that in your own lifetime.
I'm a big fan of the Welsh Five Nations movie Grand Slam.
Why, Adam?
It's because it's amazing. It's arguably the greatest social history source from the 1970s in Wales. But one of the characters is an openly gay man who isn't treated any differently by a bunch of rugby lads going away to watch Wales play. And you're like, I watched it and went, wait, when was this made? What? And they just don't give a fuck. And they're like, yeah, sure, whatever. And he's a bit camp because it was the 70s, but they never make a joke about it. It's never done in a mocking way. And you're like, this is actually...
But it's like in that...
the Wales win. But
yeah. It's like in that Gareth Thomas documentary, though, where they're talking to his mum. And she's like, well, I don't care about him being gay, but rugby league. And she's like outraged by it. She's like, oh yeah, yes, he's gay, but league. And every time I watched it, I'm like, oh, I love you so much. Like that's the only thing they care about.
There's been a couple of sketches like that. Like I think there's a Goodness Gracious Me sketch like that, where it's like, you know, Asian lad coming back to... He's expecting his parents to be really super traditional. He's like, Mum, Dad, something to tell you. And then he introduces his boyfriend, and they're not upset about him being gay, but about the fact that it's not a nice Indian boy. And then, yeah. And I've seen that sketch done with a few different kind of, you know, demographics.
That show, that was really, you don't see that repeated, do you? Like, I used to love watching
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah. There's some sketches from that stick around, aren't they? Like going out for an English.
Check, please. Yeah.
What's the blandest thing? I've got Welsh, which is probably a good thing. What's the blandest thing on the menu? Well, the scampi is fairly bland. Wonderful. I say what's the blandest thing on the menu so much to my dad and no one else. I don't know why.
Sanjeev Bhaskar on Twitter was hounded by people so much that he did actually tweet about Kamala Harris. He tweeted, he did the whole like Indian kind of, you know, where in that sketch. He said so many people had said to him, you have to do it. And he's like, fine, you know, like did the whole kind of like rundown. So yeah,
that's so good.
My story ends with I sang that song and everybody takes me about forever.
The story. I love that so much. It was the fact that you were like, yes, my time is now. This song that I don't really know.
I wasn't even really in charge of myself. Like this second person who takes over sometimes just was like, I'm doing this. Like there's certain times when
this is happening.
Okay.
I like how in my head, just in your brain, alcohol went, don't worry, brain, I've got this.
Yeah.
I'm in charge now. My mouth is that problem.
Moment,
It's beautiful.
My favourite moment.
Is it odd that I'm thinking, if there's a piano there, how big is this Chinese restaurant?
It was pretty big, yeah.
Wait, so it wasn't
What
even.
type of piano was it?
How many people were in this restaurant?
I mean, I didn't stop to count, so I don't.
Well, you was off the
I don't
chase,
know.
wasn't
We need to go back and do an
She
audit.
didn't have maths on her mind at this point.
I think
She
it's
had a
closed.
show
I
to
think
perform.
I think it is closed now. I don't think it. I don't think it's there anymore.
There were people coming back going, I love that singer back. I want the singer. Oh, she's not here. Well, I'll take my business elsewhere. Thank you very much.
It was for a while. There was this.
People
There was this
with their faces. People with your face printed on T-shirts. Come back next week.
I mean, a couple of my friends did print my face on their T-shirts when we had I had a fancy dress birthday in my mid-20s where we went, you'll enjoy this, Hannah, as a Tory. We went as the fox hunt, and I was a fox.
Yay!
And my friend Lena found like a red jacket, and she quite enjoyed walking around in that, and white trousers and a riding crop. That's her kind of thing. So, she had a great evening. But that little stretch of the high street in Swansea was for a while one of my favourite places. It was the only place in Swansea to have a drag bar. We used to go there quite a lot. Just great fun. That drag queen humour, I love it. It's so mean. I couldn't be that mean to people, but somehow it's okay, isn't it? And I just don't know. I don't know why maybe it's not okay, but anyway.
It's not me, it's the character. Not me. That one was me. Sorry.
But I haven't got up and sung in any restaurants since. I don't think.
Well,
you ticked that off your box of things
tonight.
to do. Yeah.
You were on the tour. It's fine.
Yeah. We'll do it.
The Turkish just ran from you. We'll do that.
I sing when I'm cycling along on my bicycle sometimes. That's the only kind of inappropriate time that I sing to myself.
I sing around the shop now. I'm wearing a mask because I'm like, no one knows it's me. I'm like in the milk aisle, like singing along.
I found myself because I listen to Radio 4 comedies while cycling.
Welcome to Radio 4.
And I found myself at the worst time doing tiny giggles. Like I'll be cycling past a bunch of like people like pushing wheelchairs or like put prams. I just go I look back and go, to them.
It's just vaguely menacing.
Showing off that I can use my legs.
So that was you.
I cycled a lot further than I thought I did that day.
I don't want to get out for some supplies.
Well, Ki Shah, ladies and gentlemen.
He's been here the whole time.
And Maisie Cat, yay! Oh, I'm glad Maisie stayed with us. That's pleasant.
That's arguably the greatest.
Right, the chat has been going wild, by the way, why that story's been going on. But we didn't want to interrupt.
Us interrupt? You're mad. We never do such
thing. Going back a bit, John T has put disgusting milky mess. Do you remember when we said that? Sounds like someone who spotted me when I took my top off on the beach in Lanzarote.
Oh, John T, no.
Oh, John T, pile crowd.
Me and John T have shared a hotel room together. Imagine the CCTV from that one.
I bet when you both took your shirts off, the cameras were like, Jesus.
Like a star going supernova. I can say that because I'm also very pale. I'm mocking myself.
Clip that, please, John.
Like, we're all, like, pretty pale.
Yeah.
Like, only one of us earned the nickname Bucket while she was out of the room.
I forgot
what it was, Bucket.
You call me Bucket all the time.
Thanks for reminding. Oh, it's Ki. It's because she's very pale.
Pale.
It's nothing. No.
I mean, I don't judge. Like, slut shaming's not my thing. That's fine. Like, But
It'd be more scary if Dave was calling it that. Just
I'm only, it's because it's winter and I haven't had much sun is why I can walk amongst you like one of you. But in the summer,
Yeah.
in the summer I transform. So,
You're in your winter plumage.
I'm in the beige plumage of the winter at the moment. Yeah.
you're like Mothra during the summer. Then you're probably like, "Rah!"
I mean, I'm like Mothra in so many ways. Like, out of all the Japanese monsters, Mothra is the one I identify with the most.
Do you have? So I'm trying to think who your tiny twins are. Russ and Maisie, yeah, the little twin princesses. There you go.
They are my twin princesses.
Because they look after Mothra. You people need to watch more classic foreign films.
Going back to the chat.
Oh yeah, chat.
H put. I remember my first year at AAC. We went to the Comedy Festival launch party and there was a free bar. Me and Lucy had a lot of jam donut shots. They no longer do a free bar.
I love a jam donut shot.
Yeah. What is it? What's jam donut?
It is Bailey's and then
the Bailey's
strawberry creamy one. I've forgotten that. And then sugar around the rim.
Do you think whether people behind Bailey's are like, oh, we've made this really like classy, like nice kind of warming 70s thing,
and everyone's like, let's put weird shit in it.
Or do you think they're actually like secretly marketing it? Is that like they're giving the impression that they're all classy, but underneath they're like?
Hannah has immediately told me that I'm wrong.
Right. What is in a jam donut?
Oh,
jam donut, jammy dodger.
Shamble
cream and sugar.
Oh, I would 100% drink that.
It is fucking beautiful.
I love Shamble. Right.
I feel like I know nothing, to be honest.
To be fair, Mike.
It's like a fruity, it's like, what is it? Blackberry or black currant or something?
Has anyone had a proper open bar like all night and experienced the joys of that?
Yeah.
Not intentionally. But like, I didn't intend it as an open bar, but it was by the time I'd finished.
When I worked at the Royal Academy, the Christmas party was like that.
I actually was. Let's go there. It's all right because the company have folded, possibly due to what happened.
Tell us more, Dave.
Did you cause a 2008 banking crisis?
No.
Are you a layman, brother?
I am the third layman, brother.
There are three.
I once worked in a
live layman. Sorry, carry on.
I once worked in a kind of factory warehouse type place, and I lost my job at the start of December, right, which was a bit mean.
That's your dear.
Yeah. But me and my mate were DJing at the time. I say DJing, we were doing discos. I think I've done some stories about discos in the past.
About Cannock, yes.
Yes, Cannock and the ladies' night. Yes. Yeah.
Magical Cannock.
It's in the archives.
Shout out to the DJ Nook of stories.
Yeah. And we were doing this Christmas party at this hotel, and the firm who had just sacked me were having their Christmas party. Right?
I mean, there's only one course that you can take at that point.
Play nothing but Mr. Blobby.
Well, no, because it wasn't
that
just...
and mistletoe and wine. Over and over.
No. Because it wasn't just them there. It was lots of different companies. You know what I mean?
It's like where you buy a table.
Yeah,
and
that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But one of the guys who I really got on with, he came over to me and he went, "Do you want a drink?" And I went, "No, I'm all right." And he went, "I don't think you understand. It's a free bar for us. Do you want a drink?" And I went, "All right, I'll have a pint." He goes, "Okay. Do you want a chaser?"
Vodka.
Went, "Do you want a chaser?" And I went, "No, I'm all right." He went, "Do you want a chaser?" I went, "Oh, all right, then I'll have a chaser."
Harangued.
Get us
You were being friendly harangued.
Get us a whiskey. And he went, I went, "Okay, get us a double whiskey." And he went, I went, okay, get us a triple whiskey. He went, okay. And all night he just kept coming up saying, they were absolute bastards. What do you want? Anytime you want anything to drink, let me know. I will get you your drinks. I was fucking battered.
You were like trying to make your own mixes of all the music.
Yeah.
Like,
And we played everything. And we played everything. No. We played everything on CD as well.
You go to do like record scratch, like the buffet's now open.
That's like some beautiful kind of karmic thing that you happen to be there on that night.
Yeah.
So, you know.
That's mad.
And the company went bump, so fuck up.
Because
So
of all
screw
that
'em.
Because of probably the
They're like, we can't possibly pay this bar bill.
I've been to one sales conference when I was at Flowgas, and it was the big sort of end of financial year blowout. And it was
this the Germany one?
No,
Right.
no, it wasn't. It was like a bit like no, it wasn't. That was an actual real sales conference as opposed to a sales conference. And they was like open bar. There was a nice jazz band playing. No one was paying attention to it, apart from at one point I walked over and went, "Can you play some jazz?" Yeah, I was like, "Cool."
Was Ki there?
Yeah.
Down.
But because it was a free bar, at one point, I saw my boss just walk behind the bar, pick up an optic of gin, and go outside. and the bar went, "Oh, whatever," and just put another one up. And I found him later because it still had the plastic thing on. He was just like,
No.
But he had to wait for it to read. This is
Probably for the best, because like a double at each go is probably enough for one mouthful.
But no, because this was just after he full on yelled at his boss. And he turned to me and went, "Adam, I've had an awful night and this is a highly inefficient way of drinking." I was like, okay, good.
Can I backtrack to when I was called a liar earlier on by yourself, Dave, when you said there's no way this guy will verify the story of me and him singing High School Musical at
Sharpay!
Oh my god, have we got live?
I'll just read you the message because he's just replied. So I put, "Hello, the Ryan to my Sharpay. Back me up because I've just mentioned uni and I'm being told I'm a liar. What High School Musical track did we sing at Oceana back in the day?" I then put a reference which no one else will get. "This Is Why Mummy Loves Me More." It was a play we did. The entire lecture staff hated it, but it was basically me and him as really, really bad. We were basically Ryan and Sharpay from High School Musical at an audition. Both of us screwed it up, and then we had a full-blown argument on stage in front of everyone. It was hilarious.
You took your karaoke thing and were like, we can turn this into material.
We can
Let's
run with
get
this
your
for the
work
next
to
3
commission
years.
that immediately. Thank you.
Yes.
Ed replied, "Hello, my love. Oh Lord, there's a whole repertoire. Every day, breaking free, want it all. There's 3 full albums." So there you go. He has replied.
Sharpay!
Me and Ed, Ryan and Sharpay.
That's beautiful.
It is. I think we should all concede it is a terrible film.
Shut up.
I don't know. I can only assume.
I've not seen it.
Me and Ed were so in love with each other that when High School Musical 4 came out in the cinemas, I was working at Cineworld and the staff were like, "No one's going to take us up on this offer. Will somebody watch the film on preview to make sure the reel's okay?" And I was like, "Can I bring a friend?" And they were like, "Yeah, okay." So I rang him up and I was like, "Ed, this is the moment you have waited for. They're going to put High School Musical on the night before it comes out. Do you want to come and watch it?" And he was like, so we sat on our own in a screen.
The two of you.
Like, just singing our head off.
So-
It was the best day ever.
It's like 4 films. How many?
And
we
a
watched High
TV series.
I haven't watched the TV.
Is it the same people? Like, or do they leave high school and new people come? Like, what?
It's like Grease and Grease 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a bike.
Does it have like that diminishing return that you have from Greece to Greece too? But like each
I feel
time.
like there's brief, like, do you remember when Sharpay did this? And that's kind of as far as they go. Yeah.
References,
Like, all the
yeah.
original cast went, we're not doing that. We have dignity now. Like, yeah. So, it was
I once auditioned for a walk-on part in High School Musical 2 at the Grand in about 2010. I don't know how my school had like wrangled it, but do you remember back in the day, GMTV ran that competition to find the Troy in the UK tour.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that was-
I didn't know that, but yeah.
And at the time, like we were practicing for that year's school show, and this guy came in and sort of like, you know, we auditioned for like, and like they did a workshop and stuff, and we did this audition, like, because in that year's show I didn't have a song, so what I actually did was turned sort of what I think is quite clever actually, turned like the song I was part of the chorus in, like into dialogue, and like people like started to laugh, and I thought like this is like I'm enjoying this, like people are laughing, this is good, and then somehow like school had managed to get us free tickets to go and see it, like at the Grand, and I was like I wasn't gonna, you know, whatever, it's, you know, an afternoon off, you know, got to go to the theatre, yay. And like for some reason I was in line to get Les Dennis's autograph because he was like
What a totally normal sentence.
You know how sometimes you just kind of step outside yourself and you realise you're in the queue for Les Dennis's autograph. You don't really know how you got there. You just kind of suddenly.
I went out for like a quick half with my friends, and now I'm in line for Les Dennis's autograph.
Les?
Did you get it? Like, did you meet him?
He looks at me and he says, "Heard you were really fun today." I was like, "Oh my god!" For some reason, this is really great. And like, I
Blessing from the dentist.
I've got nothing against Les Dennis, but like, it's just not a thing that I expected to happen.
No, no one expects that.
You know?
Yeah.
So I've just
nobody
been
expects the
Googling.
Dennis.
I've been Googling, and the television series, because it has a stupid name and I can't remember it. It is called High School Musical, the series.
High School Musical, the musical, the series.
Yeah, High School Musical, the series. It has 2 colons.
Why?
Like,
what is High School Musical without the musical? How? Wait. How?
So
Wait.
would that be a musical about doing a High School Musical?
I don't know. All I know is everyone on the cover looks like they are twats.
How can there be a the musical version of High School?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love like a serious dramatical kind of like serious kind of like Greek tragedy High School Musical.
Where at the end they go
that would be
full carry
brilliant.
and they all
But
die.
it's a
And
teen
then no one
series.
sings a single song in it.
No,
They're like, this is a play about someone doing a musical that you
there is
never
a Greek
see.
chorus though.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a whole episode where they just paint scenery in silence.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, that one
Yeah.
was directed by Tom Stoppard. Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah.
20,
yeah.
sounds like 24 in real time, but a bit camp.
Like,
I would watch that, to be fair.
I'd
watch
love
that.
the episode of 24, which is him on a plane for 6 hours trying to get from one side of America to the other.
Trying to decide what film he's going to watch. Yeah.
It's just there's 2 episodes.
He
of
has
him
a little
sleep.
sleepy in episode
Yeah.
3 because
And
It's
and
like
then
go to the
he
end of the
watches,
film.
and then on the
Like chicken or
plane,
the fish.
on the plane, he watches season 1 of 24.
ooh,
What?
It all goes-
shit got meta.
It's all in on itself, isn't it?
I'm in bed, I'm confused.
The chat. There's still more from the chat.
More from the chat.
Lloydie has put, my housemate at university got drunk and performed Total Eclipse of the Heart in a one-piece underwear set at a house party we hosted. Never has Turn Around been a more apt lyric.
I have a hazy memory of singing Total Eclipse of the Heart at a friend's birthday / Halloween party. It was that, and then I fell over during Bat Out of Hell. I remember that one. But like me and him were full arms on each other's shoulders, like shouting in each other's face like Bat Out of Hell. It was beautiful. And then I fell off a chair.
Bat Out of Hell, I'll be gone.
I don't know the words to Bat Out of Hell, and I did not know the men either.
I like the idea. I like the idea.
I mean, to be fair, that's like Meatloaf's in the room.
I think the last time that
I like the idea that you fell over when you said the word "gone" in Bat Out of Hell. So it was
gone.
When the morning's gone.
And they like jumping back up, and those like.
That song is so long; it's got like 3 movements in it.
Yeah.
What I was going to say was, I think the last time I did karaoke. Yeah, wait a second. Someone here has a GCSE in dance.
It is part of the ring cycle, I do believe. So.
Is it longer than Bohemian Rhapsody?
No, I don't think
so. No, it might be because Bo Rap's 5 minutes 51.
Is it? I thought it was longer than that.
No,
hang on.
Scenes from an Italian Restaurant by Billy Joel is longer. That's like
Bat Out of Hell is the old
the end by the Doors is like 11 minutes long. I remember that.
Yeah, because Bo Rap's 5 minutes 51. Because I know that song off the top of my head.
Let me just find who it's by.
What?
I mean, Tenacious D's.
Yeah, it's 10 minutes long.
Song is about 13 minutes long.
Yeah, Bat Out of Hell is 10 minutes.
Is it 10 minutes? Oh, wow.
9 minutes 48.
Yeah.
So you could nearly play Bo Rap twice. You could play Bo Rap and Killer Queen.
Yeah, Alice's Restaurant Massacre by Arlo Guthrie is 18 minutes 36.
I mean, if we're doing this, I'll just go and look at some Rush.
You know what doesn't get enough credit? 433 by John Cage. I'm so funny.
That was a very understated joke. That was, Mike. I like that.
I'm here for understatement. It's one of them jokes, Mike, where people are going to be making a cup of tea when this is finished, and they'll go, "Fuck, that was funny." It just takes a while to come round. Another one from the chat. You know when you was all coming up with those descriptions of gay and bisexual people, which now I say it sounds like it was offensive, but it wasn't.
A euphemism, if you will.
You weren't describing them all. Just greedy twats.
Flapjack Charlie, thank you for the follow, Flapjack Charlie. By the way, she has very comfortable shoes. That was one my mum used to say.
Oh yeah.
She wears comfortable shoes.
At work, that's how. When I worked at Flowgas, a friend of mine who worked there as well came out because she came in one day and was wearing flat shoes and went, "I think you'll find I'm wearing very comfortable shoes," and that's the end of the conversation. We went, "What? Oh yeah, we know."
The thing is, you could just be a tall person who doesn't wear heels very often.
It's like, what if you just don't like wearing heels to work? Have I been giving out signals unintentionally?
No, do you go, I'm wearing these lovely, comfortable shoes.
I think it's the drawing of the attention to it.
Comfortable shoes.
But people have said those shoes are really nice. I've gone, yeah, they're really comfortable. Oh God,
it's not a thing.
No,
it's not a thing.
Okay.
You're fine.
Like this was after she'd planned her own birthday party and we'd gone to Hooters. We all knew. We all knew. I've never seen a room full of blokes feel more comfortable in Hooters than the women they're with. We were all sort of going, oh, this feels wrong. Mainly because there's a couple over there with kids, and that's just weird.
Oh no!
Yeah, who takes their family to Hooters?
It was for breakfast. It was very weird. We were all like, "This feels weird," and she was going like,
living her best life.
Yeah,
just everywhere.
But yeah,
what would the male equivalent of Hooters be? Like, just as a thought experiment, like, what is that place? What's it called? What do they say?
I'm taking that. Don't go.
Can you click that, please, John?
Oh yeah, that. Yeah.
The washboard.
Which are nice to look at, but
The
no.
washboard.
Why? Just Hooters and Y-fronts. There you go.
Well,
No, there's nothing
That's
sexy
Y-front.
about a wife.
Speedos.
Depends who's wearing them.
Or
As-
budgie smugglers.
Budgies. Welcome to Hooters next to Budgie Smugglers.
As a gruff working class male, people think that I've spent time in strip clubs, and I actually haven't.
You're a rough working class male.
Apparently.
But that's what he likes to post.
I've never been in a strip club. I don't like the idea of them. You know, I'm not going to get on my high horse. If you want to go to them, fine. But it's not for me.
They're really depressing.
It's free listing.
But no. But I had to do a gig, Steph, at the Roadhouse. Remember the Roadhouse in Birmingham? Yeah.
Steph's face. Oh, I remember it all right.
And it was a burlesque night.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you know, I like the idea of this. This is because I'm thinking burlesque is like strippers. So I'm like, the left wing part of me is going, well, it's just exploitative to women, but you know, a gig's a gig, isn't it? You know what I mean? So I went along.
But they're saying they'll pay petrol.
And the 25 quid will go a long way.
Yeah. Anyway, I saw burlesque for the very first time, and it was completely not what I expected.
It's more
And
like
Filmed with
cabaret,
Cher
isn't
and
it?
Christine
It was,
Yeah.
Cabaret was way more body positive.
It's like,
It-
characters and
it was way more life affirming. It was just like,
Mm.
oh wow, I really like this. And
It's-
it wasn't until
In my head, it's like a sister performance art to drag.
yeah,
It's
Yeah.
in that sort of like this is
under
this
that
is
thing.
this is beautiful and really positive, and almost anyone can do it. But it's also character, and it's slightly tongue in cheek a lot of the time.
yeah.
But it's stunning.
Mm.
But it does have this sort of still slightly dirty reputation for some reason.
Yeah, because
Because there's still a thing about like, oh, I saw a nipple. Oh no! Like,
I once tried. I should have told this story instead. I was.
We've got time,
I've been
fine,
been a bridesmaid quite a few times, and for the first time I was ever a bridesmaid, I tried to organise a burlesque dance class for my friend's hen do.
yes.
But the teacher, she did teach us like a routine and some of the kind of like ethos of burlesque and whatever. But she ended the session. This is in a room above a pub in Cardiff. She ended the session with her own performance of burlesque that involved her getting mostly naked, nipple tassels and pants and like stockings and whatever. To the tune of "What's that coming over the hill? Is it a monster?" Because she had like a little monster puppet thing that helped her to get naked. Anyway, so
I love
effectively,
that.
I got my
so much.
straight female friend a female stripper for her hen do. That's effectively what happened. It was made worse by the fact that the performer's speaker thing that she set up kept skipping. So she repeated the start of the performance about 3 times whilst like this group of very hetero hens. I was like the most queer of a lot of them at the time. Yes, yeah. We're all kind of sat there just like, that was
Like-
they were all like supportive of each other's kind of burlesqueness, but didn't need to see that. So
That's
but it's okay because they've divorced now, so it's fine.
Woo!
But yes, I did this gig at this burlesque night, and it wasn't until about a month later I realised what I did.
Oh, Dave.
No, it was one of those where I got caught up in my own exuberance, and then I realised what it must have looked like from the other person's point of view.
Did you try to make it rain but only had pound coins? Just...
No.
That comes clean.
That's not right.
I've got two. I've got a £2. No.
Oh, right in the
And
eye.
I wanted to say how
Jiu-jitsu
much.
defense.
I wanted to say to one of the dancers how much I'd enjoyed the performance and how eye-opening it was. But obviously what she saw was a sweaty fat man come gambolling over to her and go, that was really good, that was. I've never seen anything like that before. I thought it was brilliant. I think you're great. You're wonderful. It's been a real eye-opening performance tonight, this has. Thank you very much for that. I really enjoyed it. Cheers, bye. That was not a good
Dave,
look.
can I suggest that like it probably wasn't as bad as your anxiety has told you it was?
Yeah.
I've been.
Can I suggest that you don't go out in public?
I think
Just go,
somewhere
no, Dave, no.
somewhere in the middle is probably the truth.
Yeah.
I've been to a strip club once, and it was on it was a friend's birthday, and it was like 5 a.m. and we were like, he was like decided to go to a strip club. No, it wasn't. It was like 1-ish, but the place was dead. The performer was like clearly tired. But around her were like 6 TV screens on the walls, and she was in the catwalk in the middle. But on the TV screens was Match of the Day.
It's just playing
Like the barman was like, just got
And
to
I
see
was-
the Everton one.
I was so confused because the men were all sort of like ribbing, like my mates were all kind of ribbing each other for watching. Like, oh, you're watching the dancer. Oh, you. Like,
But you're in the club
That's
for the
what you-
dancer, like.
it's like what he wanted to do for his birthday was go to a dark room with his friend, knowing they all had erections as well. It makes it's just what. So I just sat at the bar drinking and chatting to the barman, watching Match of the Day. It was great. I had
Could
a
have just gone to
lovely
laser
evening.
tag. Same thing.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't have Match of the Day on. So
Yeah.
I once went on a stag do in Birmingham, and as we were walking down
and
Broad
survived.
and as we were walking down Broad Street, we went past the Rocket Club, and the best man went, Rocket Club, come on, we'll all go in. And they all went, yeah, we'll go in. And I went, you're all right. It ain't my thing, but you know, if you lot want to go in, that's fine. I'll be in the pub over the road. You know, I'll see you when you're done, sort of thing. And then one of the other guys went, yeah, I don't fancy it. I'll go to the pub as well. And then the groom says, yeah, I'll go to the pub. Until eventually it's just the best man standing there, and he went, might as well go to the pub then. And I thought, how many men are in strip clubs who don't want to be there?
Yeah,
Don't
they just
wanna be
never had an out. Like we provided an out for them, and they were like, "Oh yeah, me too, yeah."
Yeah.
She was the one that went, oh, well, we won't leave Dave on his own. Like, I'll give up the strip club for Dave.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'm selfless.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, two of my closest friends talk about like their best friends from school days, and all of their mates from kind of school days and like when they were really young are all lads, and they've all gone on these stag do's in various parts of the country, and they were talking about like the bleakness of the kind of standard stag do. Like there's always the t-shirt situation. It's like you need your nickname on the back of your t-shirt. It's like I don't really have a nickname with this group of people, so just pick one. That's all
Always one called Shagger.
Basically, your surname with a Y on the end of it.
Yeah.
That's all.
Mikey,
Like cricketers do
David,
it all the time.
Stephanie,
Yeah.
Key.
Yeah.
So your surname. So you'd be Unwinnie.
Unwinnie.
Because that makes it sound like I'm like an unwin. He's sort
Yeah,
of
that's like,
unwinny.
well, that's a very unwinnie thing to say.
What is your stag do nickname? We've got to come up with something like Adam.
Well, mine's Bucket. Obviously.
Winner.
Bucket.
Which
No.
would work on a hen weekend as well.
Yeah, buckety. There we go.
Buckety. Keeps getting worse.
Makes you
Jack
sound really
Ross.
Welsh.
It's
I
bucket.
don't know why. Buckety, yeah.
Well, I stands, it's me, Buckety.
Right? Yeah, you've milked the cows this morning, have you? See?
Sure you're. Oh dear. No, it's not going to work. Don't worry.
It probably wouldn't.
I've literally just got the joke. That's what's happened.
Pale.
I once dressed up as a milkmaid for my friend's birthday, but I didn't tell that story, so we'll have to come back to
Please
that.
tell me no one else dressed up. It was just you carrying.
No, it's just me.
carrying-
I asked her what she wanted for her birthday, and she said, "You dressed as a milkmaid." It wasn't a sexual thing. I mean, I don't think it was. Maybe I missed a chance. Anyway.
I think you made an accurate, like 18th century hand sewn.
Yeah, I had like a lace-up bodice, and like I had my hair in like kind of ringly things, and we were getting the train from Southampton to Brighton, so that was fun.
Just sitting there reading the Evening Standard, like, hello.
Good morning. I'm from Oktoberfest. Good day.
With your buckets.
Don't spill the milk.
Didn't have proper pails. I just had like kids' seaside buckets. That's all I had access to at the time.
Nice.
So.
Probably safer. Mm.
Oh, are we done?
Have you got somewhere else to be, Dave?
Yeah, bed.
Oh, okay.
It has been a long 15 months this last month.
Yeah.
It's next week is fucking December. What the shit?
I've done all of my Christmas shopping. Don't mean to brag.
I hate you so much. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
People still doing Christmas shopping
since August.
Oh, surely this is the year where you get away with the excuse like, oh, I did buy things, but I can't come and see you because of lockdown.
But you can.
So...
Three households can mix because the virus is going to be like, shh, it's fine, it's crumbles, it's cool.
But that's going to just cause...
I'm allergic to even numbers.
I think Boris has shown his lack of understanding of how actual families work in the real world, because he's just unleashed this kind of like scenario where now everyone's like, oh, who am I going to have Christmas with? But like turned up
now
to
I will
11.
choose my favourite child.
I think it was all done because he only likes 3 of his kids.
He's also
because they are all from different households. You're right.
Exactly.
He's also forced the nation to endure endless games of who am I, where your nan asks really nondescript questions like, "Do I drive?" And then you have to explain. Now you have to try and guess who you are.
You're the concept of homogeny. I don't know.
And then your nan goes, "Well, I'm not. Well, they might drive. Well, yes, they might, but that's not."
That narrows it down. So it's not a child or a dead
It's like a deep personal vein there that we've just kind of got into.
I don't want to offload.
I've noticed this about you, Mike. You get very, very personal at some points, and it's lovely because in that way you also become universal. But I do feel that there's just demons that you need to deal with, mate.
I'll get back to you on my demons. 3 demons.
You did say one week, Dave, you wanted to do group therapy.
Lyle.
You should do art therapy. Get an art therapist on with you all and see what comes out of that.
Emily Breeden. Cool, done, sorted.
No one.
But she's a drama therapist, but it's an art.
Yeah. Exciting.
She's a jazz therapist, but it's an art.
Jazz therapy would be amazing.
So cool.
Dancing between the notes.
No, because halfway through saying something, she'd go, so how does that make you stupid?
Scat therapy. Oh,
Don't call it that. That's a different German thing. We'll leave that there.
That's a bit more Freudian.
No.
Well, I have applied to go on like a foundation counselling course. I've heard nothing back from them.
How does that make you feel?
Angry, and I want to yell at my mum.
Oh God! I'm sorry.
You can never be sorry because you did nothing wrong. You can do no wrong, Ki Shah. None apart from that thing, but we'll. Yeah, it's great. So if that ever happens, I will put on glasses and pretend to be a counsellor for you all.
Sweet.
They have to wear glasses for some reason.
Oh, I can do that now. Hang on.
Flag hippo, flag hippo.
Adam, how does it make you feel?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'll cut you, Mrs. I'm going to take them off before we go on stream.
That's what it is. Is it quite intellectual?
You were, yeah.
Yeah,
You
you do look like it's nearly time for your Diet Coke break.
You said I'm going to be an intellectual, then did the Eric Walker eye wobble.
I love that. I love that. One of my favourite things.
I love Eric Walker.
Are we done? I'm looking at you,
Sorry,
Hannah,
Dave,
'cause
I forgot
it's
we
your
should
MC.
make time.
Oh, have I got to say that we're done?
Well, if
Well,
you think we're
thank
done.
you for joining us, everybody. It's been wonderful.
10 on the radio for
I'm
voice.
not used to. Thanks, chat, for being here. We love you very much. Thanks for following us. The coffee address is at the bottom of the screen. Thank you very much to Dr. Ki Shah for joining us
Hello,
and telling us all her lovely, wonderful stories. And we'll be back next week.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem at all. You can come back anytime you like.
Yeah, you
What
sound
if you changed accent?
I don't know. I'm being this voice now.
You know when Mrs. Doubtfire has a TV show and she does that sign off?
Hello, dears.
That's what you sound like.
Hello. And we'll see you next Tuesday at 7:30 here on Twitch for more stories. Who knows what story they're going to tell next week?
I do.
Adam knows and I hate him. Mikey knows and I hate him. Who else knows? I don't know. No, we'll think of something though. It'll be
I feel
great.
like next week's going to be another decide 2 minutes before the podcast starts.
Yeah. We've got 2 more weeks before the Christmas break, I believe, but we'll talk about that next week.
Will we now? Okay.
Yeah, because then I don't have to remember the dates. That will be Dave's job.
Does that mean the week before we go on Christmas break, it's Christmas hat week?
I don't have a Christmas hat, but I can probably find one.
Just like last time we had a theme, I ended up in hospital.
That is true.
We not have a theme. And then
The themes are cursed slightly.
Maybe there's a connection.
Adam can wear his Tory hat.
Maybe there's a connection between the theme and what you end up in hospital with. So we need
So
to.
it's Halloween.
We need to
It
try
was
and work
scary.
out. Yeah.
So-
Is it Christmas? Maybe you'll get pneumonia.
No, it needs to rhyme because Halloween,
Hypothermia.
Michael's peen. Christmas,
Shit much. No.
shit much, yeah.
No, I'm in charge and I'm drawing a line under this. Stop it.
Close the diarrhea.
He's gonna
Was
get
this because,
to get
Michael, you just
dysentery.
didn't want to do dress up, and so you're like,
Yeah, Michael,
you
cheers for that.
went
You-
me with a lie and went, I'm in hospital.
Adam hates wearing any clothes that aren't the clothes he's worn all day.
Can we end now? Because I've got hiccups and my dad.
Yes, we can.
We'll end now.
We'll say goodbye to the YouTube stream
Say
first.
bye to the
Goodbye
YouTube.
to you.
Goodbye.